Welcome back. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And we're back in our workshop. I cleared a little space so that I could get to the Grundig 800. And what we're going to look at this morning is AC power supplies. Now, if you go back to my previous show when I first got this radio and told you about it, it came with, and I got it used, of course, and it came with a AC adapter, just add-on. This isn't the original adapter that came with the radio. And the gentleman that sold me the radio said, this adapter's no good on shortwave. It just creates too much noise. Works on AM and FM, but shortwave, forget it. Well, I tried it, of course, and he was right. It was really bad. And I'm just going to hook it up right now to show you what it does. I'm on batteries right now. And the band conditions, unfortunately, are not cooperating. So all we're getting is a lot of noise. Now, I'm going to see how much more noise we get when I put it on this AC adapter. It's about an S5 to S6 reading on this particular station. I think this is Radio Australia at 9.580, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I normally get up about 4. So we're going to try this. We're going to turn this off. We're going to plug in the AC adapter real quickly. And this adapter is rated at 1 amp, 9 volts, 1 amp. Okay, so we got that plugged in. So we'll turn the radio back on. Remember we had an S5 on that signal. Oops, I forgot to turn the other switch on. I'm overcautious and I always have multiple switches so I don't accidentally turn something on by mistake or leave something on. Oh, okay. Now, okay, before, I wish you'd listen for a second. Okay, before I could hear that station just above the noise level. So it was acceptable. Not very good, but acceptable. Now, since I'm on the AC adapter, and that was on batteries, I'm on the AC adapter, the noise level total didn't go up that far. Matter of fact, it's just slightly higher, but that's all I can hear is that noise. I could barely hear the station. So, let me turn it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back off and unplug that adapter. Okay, we turn the switch off. And so that's this adapter that the guy had bought himself to replace the one that he did not have. And there's the monster right there. And if you go on eBay, you will find these, and they will say they're for the Grundig Satellit 800. The Grundig Satellit 800 takes 9 volts. So that's why he bought it. Okay, now I'm back on batteries. I'll turn the radio back on. Turn the volume back up. And now you can hear the station just above the noise level. Like I say, this would have been a better demonstration if the listening conditions normally were better, but I have to take what's there, so I can't control that. So it's down to about an S5 or 6, where on the AC adapter it was 7, just above 7. So there's an additional S unit of noise. So then someone suggested this guy right here. Now, when I got it, I was already suspicious because it's probably the same technology, and I didn't think this is going to help much. But the gentleman that told me about this said he bought one of these and it worked fine. And I guess it's all relative, because now let me plug it in. And this is good for 3 amps. We got plenty of amperage there. Okay, let's turn that on. Turn the radio back on. Almost identical to this one. Really no change. It's about an S7 of noise. I cannot hear the station. The station is covered up by the noise because it's not very strong. Now, all this is pretty subjective, because if you have a strong station, it can get above that noise and it will appear the radio is working. But if you're trying to get weak stations, it doesn't work. So that's that second adapter. So then, at that point, let me turn this off. At that point, I thought maybe there's something wrong with the radio. Maybe that's the problem. So I remembered, because I didn't remember before, that I had a lab power supply. And let me just see if I can swing the camera up there and show it to you, just for the grins. It's not that important that you see it. And let me see what we got here. Just do this and do that. And I can't see the viewfinder to see what I'm pointing at. Yeah, there's my monitor. Okay, yeah, right up there, and that shelf, top shelf there, with the big meter. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd my hand go? Oh my gosh, it's up there someplace. Is that lab supply, and it's a commercial lab supply. I got it at a closeout sale at a company I work where they surplus equipment. Let me see if I get the radio back in the screen. And kinda. There we go. That's probably close enough. And so I thought, hey, yeah, I got that over there. It'll put up to 50 volts out at 1.5 amps. And I was thinking, I got confused because the adapter that I bought was 3 amps, and I was thinking, oh, I need 3 amps. Well, you don't need 3 amps. That was pure confusion on my part. Oh gosh, this scooter is getting away from me. So I knew the output of that power supply was clean. Now, what I did do, because it was convenient, is I used this adapter. It's a multi-plug adapter, which I cut off of a power cube that died, and I used it to connect to my lab power supply. Well, this is just 2 conductor wire. There's no shielding, so I was concerned about that. So let's plug that in. Let me make sure I've got this set at, yep, still at 9 volts. And we'll plug that in. Okay, now that's plugged in. And the meter on the lab supply will give me current also. So I can see how much current this thing is actually drawing. Relative, it's not that accurate a scale. So let's turn it on. And now the S meter is reading about S5, 6, moving around because of the noise. Just the conditions are changing. You can hear the station. Again, it's a pretty weak station, but it's basically giving me the same signal with no noise except the ambient noise that the battery did. So it's working. The AC input to this radio is working. It's just that the adapters I've gotten so far have just been no good. And I don't want to get a big, bulky one. And I've also read that the AC adapter, some of the AC adapters that come with the radio are not that good either. So apparently the internal circuitry in the radio doesn't do a good job of filtering that power that comes in. If it's got noise on it, it's just going to go right through and you're going to hear it in the radio. So I just wanted to show you that I have gone through this process. The one shot I made of that adapter, that was a failure. Put that one back in the pile. Using my lab supply, there's no noise, no more than there is when working on batteries. Like I say, conditions, noise conditions just in general this morning aren't that good, and reception is pretty poor like it was last night. And when I first was experimenting with the lab supply, the other conditions were good, and the S reading on, I think, WWV at 10 megahertz or something like that was like 1. Was really clean. Now, like I said, last night I was on with another radio, and the conditions were it's just not good, and so they're no better this morning. So I can't blame the S meter reading. Oh boy, let me have another drink of coffee here. Is probably just due to atmospheric conditions this morning. Okay, so that's the show. If you got anything out of this show, please give me a thumbs up. I noticed my view count has kind of dropped off when I was going through my junk out of my storage shed, so I think I'm going to have to put a hold on that stuff. It looks like it's pretty poor as far as interest. No, it's understandable. I do have some new products coming in. I don't have any new radios coming in. There's only one new radio that I know of that I would be excited about reviewing it. I don't know if it's any good or not. Is the Texan PL680. And unfortunately, Amazon, where I get most of my radios, doesn't have it yet. I'd have to get it from someplace else. So I'd like to do a review of that. Other than that, and other than some speakers and stuff like that, I'm going to have to stick with my old radios. I really don't see that many new radios on the horizon unless you want to spend a couple of $1,000, which I don't want to spend. So anyway, if you enjoyed the show, give me one of those thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, yeah, you can do that too. Bye-bye.